Good. The cream. The cream of the crop. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another technical alpha. And let me see here. It is, what day is it today? Adam is showing off the cream, getting all kinds of creamed. February 28th, 2019, episode number 95.
95!
And Adam,
What?
not only was it the first time I've introduced into the podcast.
It happened. It's the first time you introduced a child into the world.
That as well. It has finally happened, guys. I am officially a dad. That is the reason why we did not have a podcast last Thursday, because Kayla was literally having contractions.
Yes.
When the podcast normally would have been going.
Yes.
So that is why I am home. I am slowly being acclimated to this new life.
The life of fatherhood.
Yes. Kayla's been doing great. Baby's been doing great.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about that in a couple minutes, but
I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about.
Yeah, it was an experience.
Over the course of many podcasts, I'm sure we will get tidbits.
I mean, I guess like every week there'll probably be some sort of update with what's going on.
Find out when he says his first word. Bets on it being not StarCraft.
All right, you take over for just a second, and
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this, and then
Absolutely.
we'll go.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Jeff was saying in the intro, it's a Technical Alpha podcast. It's the podcast where Jeff and I sit down here as two old men screaming into microphones about video games, movies, pop culture in general, really. And then at the end, people ask us questions, and we give them kind of reasonable answers. It's kind of what goes down here. Head on over to patreon.com/LAGTV to join the community, support this podcast, and if you're coming in from YouTube or you're part of the StarCraft community as well and you're interested in us, you know, casting some of your matches, we still do, in fact, do some StarCraft casting, and it's all done through the Patreon page now, so you can head on over there, read up in that main section as to how it works, and get involved. It's been a bumper couple of weeks in the world of video game, movie, and otherwise news. It wasn't just an exciting week because Mr. Black's wife popped out a baby. Lots went down.
She did. We okay, so before we got in on this podcast,
yes,
we cast a bunch of StarCraft.
We did today
specifically.
Yes.
We said that's it. We're getting all of the StarCraft stuff done. It's been actually a very eventful day for the in the LAGTV sphere, because we received all of our physical merchandise.
It happened. We got it.
Here in this.
It's here.
Big box that's back here.
Box of stuff.
It's all in there. So, with that being said, if you guys are supporters on Patreon and we owe you product, or if you're still supporting, and I do believe if you have a cumulative of $100 or more,
yes,
that you've pledged since the beginning of time,
yes,
or today, or in the last few months,
yes,
then you have to private message us on Patreon to our Patreon account with your full name, your address, and your phone number. Do not forget that phone number, because if we ship anything out of the country, it needs to have a phone number. So do that, and Adam and I are going to be getting together, and we're going to be sitting down and packaging it all up. We've got all of the tubes and containers. We're ready to go. I just got this package today, this afternoon. Panic sent it from New York. So we're going to take care of all that. And if you guys are enjoying the StarCraft content, we are officially all caught up on everything that is StarCraft. We've cast every game in there except for 2 of them, because for some reason their MediaFire link wasn't working. But we've casted all of those. We cast the NovaWar Says, Normal Ass Normal Games, and a bonus When Cheese Fails. We actually recorded 2 When Cheese Fails today, one of which is up right now on LAGTV. So after you're done watching the podcast, go check that out. Or maybe you're here from the podcast because we did it
from the video.
Or sorry, from the video, because we did a shout out
of the podcast
on the video.
It's meta.
It's meta.
It's next level marketing.
Hey, we got to do
pyramid scheme.
We got to do what we got to do.
That's right.
We have to do what we got to do.
This podcast is the cream.
Because if there's 10,000 people that are watching When Cheese Fails,
that's the crop,
and we can't get, I don't know,
half of that,
5,000.
then we have failed as content creators.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. The grind books fell, yeah.
Oh, no.
There was so much hype.
There we go.
Don't forget about the grind.
Don't forget about
Available on Amazon.
I'm on a whole new grind right now.
Yeah, it's a different grind now.
It's a different type of grind.
It's a dad grind.
How was your week?
It was a week. Basically, I woke up really late, went to bed really late, and then streamed when I had the opportunity. I did clean the house quite thoroughly, which was like one thing I desperately wanted to do for a long time. We had normally, like in the old house, we had an area of in the basement where I had all of like the cardboard boxes and all that crap, and then I would just cut them up and tie them up with twine or whatever and do it from there. And where we are now, we don't really have a spot for that stuff. And so there were like these quasi areas like next to the staircase in the living room, dining room, kitchen area. And then upstairs in the hallway, there was a little nook where we were just cramming boxes and they were piling up to the point where it was just getting stupid. So I finally got up one morning and I said, fuck it. It's getting done now. So it took me almost 3 hours.
Damn.
To cut up all the boxes.
Damn.
It's a lot of boxes.
It's a lot of boxes.
So got all that stuff done and vacuumed the whole house and cleaned the kitchen and did stuff. So there was a big day for that. And then otherwise, just been kind of chipping away at it. I've been going to bed at stupid hours, waking up at stupid hours. I had one really bad day that completely fucked me.
It happens.
It was the night that we went out. So when we went out,
you had a stomach.
My stomach was. It hasn't been that bad in years. Like normally when I could feel it coming on, like Phil Collins. So after
you didn't even eat much.
Songs.
You just had the burger and.
So I did the.
Oh, you had the cheesecake too.
That's probably what really fucked me.
Yeah.
But it was I didn't eat anything before we went out, all day.
Oh.
And then I had the pot sticker starters, the 8 pot stickers. Then had the blackened chicken burger and fries. Then the cheesecake.
And a beer.
And so when I got home that night, I also ate the rest of the cheesecake
and the brownie. You fucked up.
I fucked up.
Oh, you fucked up. You got greedy, bro.
I got really greedy.
You got greedy, bro.
But I was feeling it. I was like, yeah, this is good. And I just wanted something to snack on. Had it. 2 a.m. rolled around.
Nah.
Fuck.
Hell no. To the no.
So Adam walked around his room watching Bob Ross videos for 9 straight hours. Look, I'm not brave enough to make myself
get sick,
vomit.
Yeah,
I just can't do it. I was at vomit for 9 hours.
Oh, no.
Where my stomach was fucked, my throat was like. So by the time the 9 hours were up, it felt like I had screamed. For 9 hours.
I've been there.
And
your throat's like sore. It's fucking
super
like
tight.
heavy and tight. Yeah.
Like even if I wanted to take like a Gravol or a Zantac or something to try and calm things down, that pill wasn't going anywhere.
No.
My throat was like, it was like I was having like a friggin' reaction.
And the last thing you want to do is put things down your throat,
It was bad, yeah. I was sipping water.
Yeah. Not gulping.
Sipping. Just to moisten my mouth, basically. I almost wanted to just spit it out like I was a UFC fighter. Just get in there and...
fucked.
So after that night, I went to bed at 11 a.m. And if I went to bed, I mean I passed out in my clothes in my bed and woke up and Bob Ross was still playing when I woke up later on at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Wow.
So after that, my sleep schedule, fucked. And I've been trying desperately to work it back. And I worked it back to last night. It was... I was in bed physically 5:45, and then I think I fell asleep at about 6:30.
Adam, stop.
Adam,
stop. Adam, stop.
That's better than 11.
Adam, stop.
So I'm trying to work it back because I'm just not tired, right? Like I'm just not fucking tired. I ended the stream at like 1:45 or something like that.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
It's not because I wanted to. I knew I wasn't tired, but I wanted to not be like I was playing Apex. I didn't want to be like wired for sound until I went to bed. So I just did that and I chilled for like fucking 3 hours, and I was still not really tired. And so I'm trying, but I don't know. Maybe I'll need to clean the house again and get physically tired. Just like start doing that.
Or
shit.
Just have a nice workout, work out really hard in the morning.
We're coming through it. So anyway, that was basically my week, is just trying to come back from that. Been playing a lot of Apex. The game is fantastic. It's absolutely chock full of hackers.
Oh yeah,
right now.
it's gotten bad.
Aimbot's bad. As it turns out, what happens when you have the same system or the same engine that Team Fortress 2 was built on, it's susceptible to all the things that Team Fortress 2 was susceptible to. Most of that stuff never got fixed, and it was because the game wasn't ever that popular or like super popular. This is a little bit different, hyper popular. They're gonna want to fix that shit.
Very quickly.
Bad. To be honest, I only started noticing it because I think it really picked up just in the last few days.
I noticed it on the last day that I played the game, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
I played just for maybe 2 hours because I can't play that game too long. But I did notice that there, in a couple of games, man, there is no way in absolute fuck that they were playing legit. There's just no possible way, and it wasn't Shroud.
I started noticing that people were shooting at me from quite a distance and using guns that they're not like single fire. Right?
They're just ripping you a new asshole.
And they weren't missing any shots. Yeah. And it wasn't that they were just hitting me; they were all headshots. So we'd be starting a fight. I'd get 3 shots off, and they triple tap me in the head, and it would be like game after game after game of that happening, and I only just started noticing that before. Every once in a while, you'll run into somebody who either gets lucky or just happens, or they're really good.
Yeah.
But then you'll start noticing these people just start cropping up, and they're just tearing you up.
Yeah, I've been seeing it. I've been seeing it a lot more. I've noticed that some of the big streamers are starting to complain about it too. So hopefully Apex will get on it, because if there's one thing that'll ruin an entire experience, is the cuck boys that are in a game
doing that shit,
just fucking aim-botting, and then it gets to the point where the other cuck boys are like, well, if they're aim-botting, I may as well, because it's not fair.
You know what's crazy? There was a dude, Exeeg linked it to me. He was on, I don't know how long the stream went on for, but it was like, I think it was like 4 hours or something. It might have never even gotten taken down. This guy streaming on YouTube, playing Apex, aimbotting, and talking about it, and just giving her the business. And just going into games and winning every game. Just goes in there, holding down the button, just insta-killing everyone. And he's like promoting it because it's like a premium, like your people are paying for it.
Yes.
So he's just promoting it.
Yes, and the worst part about it is Apex, they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit, because they promote the players that have the most kills. So there's an extra incentive.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, not only just to win, but then also to get your name up on the shining lights in front of everybody, in front of Shroud Stream, and going after the streamers and getting kills on them because you're cheating. Yeah. And then when you load into the game, you've got all your kills and your damage. Everything's there.
Absolutely.
So it becomes this big fuckery where it's a stat chasing game opposed to a ranking game.
It just adds to people wanting to do it.
Yeah. That's it. That's what it is, right?
So other than that, they're still tackling bugs. They've fixed some, and it's produced others. The latest one that Ammunition tweeted out about today was that she was in a top 3 situation, and one of her friends invited her to a match, and when she got invited, it just pulled her right out of the game and into the person's match. So it pulled her out of the game she was playing.
Interesting.
And so that's a new one. That's a pretty
in the middle of a game.
In the middle of a game.
Okay. Just kind of tagging people in.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could do it if somebody left on your team and then you invited.
No, they were in a lobby.
Oh.
So it was like the friend invited her. She was the one in the game.
Gotcha.
But it pulled her out of the match in a top 3 situation, and then just stuck her in the lobby, and she was like, "Excuse me." Yeah, so they've got some shit to work out, but I'm still having fun with it. I'm getting better. I had an animal ass fucking day. Yesterday? I basically was just on fire. I think I landed like 75-80% of every bullet left my gun.
The dream.
Still getting absolutely memed on though. Only won one match. Had a couple of close calls, but I was getting shreked. And sometimes it was like, yeah, they got me. And other times it was like, oh, it's an aimbot. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just take it. Guys running around with Mozambiques just tearing you a new asshole. Dude, I got a double Mozambique down. Ran in a bunker. I had nothing but a Mozambique and one Ninja Star sticky grenade. I got one down low. He had to run. He popped back out. I stuck him like it was fucking Halo. It downed 2 people with the one stick. I ran in with the Mozambique because I was getting I was like, oh, I'm invincible now.
Brazen.
Ran around the corner. Gibraltar.
Rip.
He has a shield. You only have 3 bullets with Mozambique.
Rip.
It was bad.
Yep.
I died.
Did you? I heard about this other glitch where if you time it right and you get knocked down, you can actually start shooting people from the ground. There's like
I don't know if people have figured out how to replicate it, but I did see Tim the Tat Man.
They're like, what people are doing now is they're crouching down as if they're getting ready to be put down, and then when you're down, it has to be timed like perfectly,
and the gun stays out.
And the gun stays out.
It happened to Tim accidentally when he was streaming, and he was like, "The fuck?" And he started shooting, and he started killing everyone around him. He was like, "This the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then he noticed somebody else was down, and their gun was like awkwardly like on their model. He was like, "Fuck! He's got it too! Kill him quick! Fucking kill the guy!" And he was like, it was just this weird situation. So there's loads of stupid bugs, but the game is fun. So I've been playing it and having a good time. That was my week.
All right.
Game news, Mr. Black.
Yes, sir.
Other than Apex doing its meme stuff, there has been other things happening in the world. It's not just been an Apex, meme the whole way through. ArenaNet, which is the company behind Guild Wars, and other things as well, and a couple of other businesses. And I wish I wrote them down because there were a couple of big name companies. It's like they saw the Activision Blizzard restructuring, and this tends to happen often. It's not just in the gaming industry. This happens in other industries as well, where one major company or something will do a restructure and fire just a shitload of people, and they're getting bandwagoned, people hating on them for the firing, and it's just they all look like assholes. And so while that's going on, other companies come in and take the opportunity to do it at the same time, because it lessens the attention that they get for doing it.
Yep.
So everyone in the gaming industry right now is getting fired all at the same time.
Rip.
So shout outs to Bobby Kotick for starting that domino effect.
Thanks, Bobby. Bobby's always fucking shit up.
Just layoffs for fucking everyone. So that's unfortunate. I love Guild Wars as a franchise. I think it's probably my favorite MMO series ever made. I still think it's probably the best, if not in the top 3. I hope that they still have a chance to keep making Guild Wars stuff in the future. But the way that they were wording it, it's just like everything else. It just looks like we're doing some mobile shit. And
Yay.
In conjunction with that, there are rumors, because the problem is ArenaNet and others, just like the layers of companies that own companies that are owned by other companies that are owned by is getting so fucking confusing now. But Nexon, who is one of, if not the biggest Korean gaming companies, and you've probably heard of Nexon at some point in your life.
I have.
Lots of online games, lots of MMOs, the free-to-play stuff that they churn out like a champion, and other stuff as well. There have been bids by Amazon
to buy them out,
Comcast, and EA to buy out Nexon, which must be some fucking huge money. Because Nexon is not small.
Why would Amazon want them?
Well, Amazon has their own gaming engine, right? The Lumberyard stuff, and they're involved in gaming in general. And so maybe they're looking to branch out to be a little bit more involved instead of just providing the engine and actually get some titles put out underneath of them. Also, Amazon just has huge amounts of money and needs to diversify. And so...
Well, I mean, hey. Sure, Amazon, buy them all up. I mean, shit.
Yeah. What is it Nexon trying to sell off? Itself.
It's just saying, you know what, we've come this far. It's time to just jump off the train now.
They might not even be trying to sell themselves. This might just be several companies coming in and saying and offering and being like, "Hey, we want to come in and just do this thing right now." Yeah. And so
we like your infrastructure. Let's buy it.
We like the fact that you are really good at making free-to-play games that make lots of money. We would like to get involved in this. And so
as sad as it is, Adam, and I mean it's sad. It's very, very sad. But where we're at in gaming right now with all the battle royales and more battle royales, and they ain't done.
Mobile games.
We're going to see. I actually think mobile games is the future.
Well, they are.
And it really pisses me off.
It's 100% the future.
Yeah.
There will always be...
I know.
using the word hardcore games.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
That's always going to be there. But
we're seeing the shift. We're seeing the AAA
you're
publishers, developers,
you're gonna be, seeing a lot more attention.
We never saw this before.
No,
we've never seen companies like Blizzard or EA or whoever else, Nintendo, all of them. We haven't seen these guys go, let's make mobile games, and it's because phones are basically computers.
Yeah.
They're getting bigger.
Yep.
And it's like a complete proof of concept now where, I mean, people are playing Fortnite on their phones.
Yes.
Fortnite.
Yes. Dude, when I was at the airport with Gabs when she was getting ready to go, and we're sitting at the A&W, I need some A&W in my life. I need A&W, double team burger. Oh. Anyway, we're sitting at the A&W, and there's a mother with 2 sons, and they're both relatively young. I'd say probably about 9, 10. Maybe one of them was a little older, maybe 11. And one of them was sitting there, iPad in hands or whatever the fuck, tablet, playing Fortnite. And just, first of all, 2 things. 1, it made me want to vomit a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah.
2, that motherfucker was moving at speeds that I didn't know was possible for a human being to do. That little kid looked like he was fucking snorted Adderall, and he was just like, seeing his hands move, it was like... And he was so casual, because he was like slouched. His just posture was terrible. He was just... And it looked like he wasn't trying, but he was like, "Hi!" And it looked like he was fucking solving a Rubik's Cube in real time on his fucking tablet. And I was like,
that's so
fuck?
That's so fucked up, bro. I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, there isn't even... My son will not see an iPad or an iPhone.
13.
It's probably the age.
Yeah.
At 12 would be the, like...
Earliest.
The earliest.
Yeah.
12, because 12 is like a weird age, where 12 is like...
Depends on the kid.
That is the big thing.
Sometimes...
It really depends on the maturity level of the kid.
Yeah.
Because some 12-year-olds act like 8-year-olds, and then there's some 12-year-olds that act
48.
like Adam.
Like me.
Yes. Like Adam, when he was 12, he was 36.
I was a tax accountant.
Yeah. Now that he's 30, he's 92.
Exactly. Pretty soon, I'm just going to be that girl from the Titanic. It's been 84 years. There was definitely enough room on that plank for both of them.
100%.
She just straight up fucking... Leonidas kicked his ass off that board.
Said, "I'm sorry, Brad.
Says, I'm living. You can fuck right off.
I just met you. You're dead. You're dead.
Women and children first, bitch.
Straight up. I mean,
Get wrecked.
Leonardo was pretty feminine in that movie, so he probably...
A little bit. To be fair, he was about 12.
Let's not assume his gender. I mean, he could have identified as a female.
Yeah.
And what happens if it's women and children, but it's a man that says he identifies as a woman?
That's a road that I don't know anyone wants to go down.
Because you could go, well, listen here, Sally. Just because I may not look like a girl doesn't mean that I don't get that. Listen, if it was 2019 and I'm on a boat and the shit's going down and it's women and children and my wife and kid are on that boat, I'm going.
You're RuPaul.
I'm going
instantly.
I'm going all out.
You got a blonde wig in your backpack just in case.
I'm ready to go.
Clip-on earrings.
I'm saying, honey, pass me the eels. Get me on that lifeboat. I identify. Don't assume my gender. That's what I'd say.
Have you seen my dick?
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, yeah, they're buying up Nexon.
Cool.
However we ended up there.
I don't know.
Started from buying up Nexon.
It happens. It happens.
Good luck to all of them. Cyberpunk 2077. That's a game a lot of people are looking forward to. I think you saw the gameplay thing that they showed off of Cyberpunk. We were watching the stream.
I did.
And you were yeah.
I did. And it looked pretty awesome.
It looked like a good video game.
The guns looked very cool.
Yes, absolutely. And the movement in the game looked very dope.
Yep.
Everything looked.
I mean, it was all very scripted, like the whole thing they had there. So and that's one thing that I've noticed with a lot of these cool looking games. It looks cool because it's scripted. Like it's like, oh man, that was just so fluid and that just everything's happening at the right times. But then when you get into the game and you're just playing it,
it doesn't play out that way.
The experience is completely different.
You could recreate it if you played that one scene about 58 times.
That's it.
But unfortunately, like you could still tell somebody played it. It's just that they had done it so many times that it was like to a science.
And what was nice about their presentation is it wasn't like one of those cheesy E3 ones.
Yeah.
Where some dude's on stage and he's got his thing and he's like, all right, can you yo.
It's not an Ubisoft conference where they've got like 15 people on stage and they're like trying to recreate.
Get down, go. You got one guy on the stage literally doing mouth gun noise like. It's like, come on, go, get down.
Ubisoft is so bad for
I see a guy to
shit.
the right. Can you go ahead and ping him with me with that new ping technique? Perfect.
Ubisoft's so bad for that. They're the only ones really still doing it too. And when they do it, like, it's funny because they actually put effort in to making it sound natural.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, they're getting better and better at it, mostly because they've been doing it for almost a decade now.
They've been doing it forever.
But it's still so bad. Yeah, anyway, so Cyberpunk 2077, everyone's looking forward to it. It's like the fucking cyber Jesus of video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting an E3 panel this year, so we're going to apparently see a fairly hefty amount and learn a hefty amount about Cyberpunk this E3, which I know sounds like it's a long way away. I promise you, you're going to go to sleep, it's going to wake up, and E3 is going to be upon us.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen.
When
last
does
year.
Cyberpunk come out anyway?
Cyberpunk is either this year or next year. I can't remember.
Damn, man, that shit is taking forever.
Well, I think what happened was they announced it when it was still like fucking conceptual, and they didn't even really announce it. They just talked vaguely about it, but people just
like
were
concept art and hey, it's coming.
I mean, it was the Witcher people. So as soon as they heard about it, they just latched onto that shit and was like, Yeah,
we're a little ways away.
We're a little ways away. Not too much longer, but I'm going to say probably either end of this year or next year. And we'll probably find that out at E3.
I'm sure we'll get some kind of demo or like some kind of playable something.
There'll be something. We'll see. We'll see definitely more gameplay this year. We'll probably learn at least a little bit more about the gameplay systems and stuff, because there's a lot about that game after watching that demo that I had questions about. As to just how much. I think the biggest question is how much do the decisions that you make in the game really affect the world? Because everyone that's come before Cyberpunk has played the game where they go, our game has branching storylines, and depending on who you fuck and who you cut in half, or maybe both simultaneously, it will dramatically change the world forever. And then that was Peter Molyneux talking about Fable. And then we all saw what happened.
We all saw what happened with Fable.
Not so much. So yeah, we'll see. That's my biggest question mark on it. We'll see how that really pans out. So that's happening. Super Smash Bros. Melee. That game is a very good video game. It has been hyper popular in the fighting game community
forever.
Pretty much forever. It's been, I want to say, the biggest draw as far as eyeballs go on live streams. If not, it's close. I think Street Fighter might still have it edged out on like an average, but it's up there. It's up there. Melee during the Super Bowl had like over 100,000 people watching on Twitch just this year. So it's not like it's a small thing. Melee is out of Evo this year.
Damn.
And people are wondering why. Because it's so popular. Now, the only thing is that I believe Smash Ultimate is in, and so people are now questioning, did somebody get paid off to get Smash Ultimate in over Melee? Like, are they really trying to bury Melee now, even though most people might still consider it to be the superior Smash Brothers? Why would you get rid of it if the viewership is that high? Are you really trying to push Ultimate to give it a better chance at actually taking on Melee's thing? Because really, you would think, given the sheer volume of shit in Smash Ultimate, that it would, no pun intended, ultimately become the de facto Smash game for competitive stuff. But nobody really knows what the fuck is going on. It's just really crazy, especially Evo of all of the tournaments, to drop Melee.
I don't know what to think about that. I think you're probably right. It's likely either they got paid from Nintendo,
which would be weird because Nintendo's never really been heavily involved in esport.
I mean, I would assume Smash has sold very, very well.
It has.
I really don't know. I mean, I don't, unless they're planning to have a separate Smash Bros. Melee tournament in itself, like a surprise. Like, since it was so big, that's like, you know what? Maybe we'll dedicate an entire event strictly to Smash Melee, and then that way we can have that for the primary focus, because it would be kind of weird to have two different Smash in the same one,
which
where you're doing Melee and then Ultimate.
Yeah.
So why not have the new one that everyone's kind of playing, and it's new and exciting, and there's lots of new characters and fresh gameplay and stuff. Put that on the main stage, and then announce that they're going to do, for the purists out there, kind of like a Brood War, right? Same thing with Brood War, right?
That's pretty much where it's at. Is
they're going to get their own? They're going to get their
they'll
own.
Do their own thing, like a little side
Yeah.
tournament,
Yeah.
and
I think that's
be
probably what's going to happen, because it would be dumb to just drop it and pretend like it never existed and not say anything about it or anything like that. So my guess is exactly that. They're going to they might even announce it at EVO. They might go, or they may announce it before if they're getting a lot of slack or complaints from people like, what the fuck, where's Melee going? So I'm sure we'll hear more.
Yeah, it's I'm just surprised that it was EVO, the one that decided to do it. I was expecting a smaller tournament to take that on, but now that I think about it, it probably makes more sense for a major tournament to do it.
Yeah.
And that the smaller tournaments still maintain the Melee core, kind of like what happened with Brood War.
Yep.
So we're seeing a very similar situation there as we did with StarCraft 2, where there was really a push to replace Brood War on the esports stage, and it eventually happened, for better or worse.
And we saw the same thing even with StarCraft and League of Legends.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
on the main stages.
Yeah, on the main stage. Like sometimes that's just it. Like the new come, but the old will always be there. The old is strong.
Absolutely. You know what's not so strong? Anthem's launch.
Dude, they fucking crashed. Oh, did they sell the 6 million copies?
I don't know, because I think it was, what was it, 6 million in 6 weeks?
I think it was 5. Was it 5 weeks? I think they said 5 weeks, 6 million copies.
I can't remember. It was a wild number.
Do we know how much they sold?
I don't know if we've had any numbers released
I think
yet.
I said they're going to sell 3 million in the first week.
We said some numbers. I can't remember what they are.
I can't remember what I said either.
I want to say that I said 3.5 in the 6 weeks.
That's it.
But it's difficult because depending on the numbers that come out, if they say they shipped a certain number, that doesn't actually mean they sold. That just means they shipped to retailers and any other keys and shit. Yeah. And then whether or not they will take into account any games that get refunded or returned is difficult. And they're unlikely to be the ones that do that themselves. So
I have seen advertisements everywhere for Anthem. Dude, they are spending endless amounts. They're burning money. They're just burning. They have a
They
torch.
got to.
They've got fucking Elon Musk's flamethrower. And there's a bag of money there, and they're just torturing money.
It's about sending a message.
Fuck. Dude, on Facebook, like I've been seeing Anthem ads on Facebook like crazy, and Facebook ads are not cheap.
No, they got ads everywhere for it. And I watched a lot of streams for it. I watched people playing it for the story. I watched people in the grind, towards the end game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't played it, so to take my opinion with a grain of salt. This is just from watching a number of streamers at different stages of the game and seeing some of the story stuff, seeing the end game stuff. The game is like
okay.
If there was such thing as meh at a 10,
yeah, that's it.
That's where they've landed.
It's a full man and meh.
Is that it's a pretty looking game.
Yeah.
There's way too many special effects on screen though. Even watching the game and not mentally having to deal with thinking about what I'm doing. It's hard. I mean, I'm just old, but there's literally so many particle effects that I lose, and they're every color of the rainbow,
well, Adam,
that I lose track of whatever the fuck is going on.
You know what the reality is, Adam? You're getting old.
Yeah.
Like you said, you were at the airport and you saw a fucking 10-year-old.
And they're just hyper. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
they're
but
being being trained.
But Fortnite has like 4 effects. It's not like anything.
I don't know, Anthem, man. Have you played Fortnite recently, dude? I tuned into Fortnite, and apparently even this season, I tuned into Fortnite. I shit you not. I saw a motherfucker jump off one of his fucking skyscraper towers.
Yes.
And there was balloons, and he's floating with balloons. Next thing you know it, he's on like a Silver Surfer shit, and he's like surfing, literally surfing around. Balloons are popping. He's shooting confetti, and fireworks are all over the place. He's doing backflips while simultaneously building the Empire State Building and then reconstructing it and then going inside of somebody else's Empire State Building and then refilling balloons as he floats back up to the top of the Empire State Building and then fucking hits a jump, bounces across the map, and then he hits and grabs a fucking one of these. Literally
the
grabs one of these And then he's like fucking jumping around. Next thing you know, he's Darth Vadering, choking people with his glove. He's like looking at them, and you got the guy in the air just going, and then he just does this, and he fucking blows up. But then his particles start raising into the air, and then a phoenix came down and did some wizardy shit, and there was shit particles all over the screen, and it like started going back together like from the ashes, and he went, wow! And it was like this huge explosion. Fuck? Yeah, it was crazy. That was Fortnite.
Right. Okay.
You haven't seen it lately.
All right, well, maybe I'm just behind. Anyway, I'm old, but it's there's a lot going on. It's a pretty game, though. That's about all it's got going for it.
That's it.
It's pretty. The story is not what people were hoping for from BioWare. They were really banking on, and BioWare was really talking a big game about bringing like a good story to this genre, and they just didn't. It's just kind of okay. It's just okay. Everything about it, you can describe Anthem as everything is just okay. And probably the most damning comment I've seen from not just a few people, but a shitload of people, is that it reminds people of early Destiny 1.
Yes.
Which is not a comment you want to hear from people.
No.
Pretty much ever.
Listen, if you want a hit game in 2019,
yeah,
you got to be better than okay.
Yeah.
You just do. There's too much out there right now. Everything's free, and there's quality out there. I mean, for Christ's sake, we watched Apex get launched, and nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
And it's arguably the most quality experience
we've
online playing that we had since...
It's been a while.
Like, it's been years.
It's been a while. It's
been years, bro. So you can't just come out, especially with the hype around Anthem, and then Apex coming out of nowhere and saying, motherfucker, we're going to fuck your sales.
And like a week before Anthem launches, too.
Bro, exactly.
That's rough.
That is like if...
It's in the same launcher.
That's like a niche film coming out. That's like, say, if John Wick 3 comes out, right? John Wick 3 comes out, and we've all got high expectations, because that's what Anthem was. It was a high expectation game. It was
I have an erection right now.
Yes. And we're going, oh man, we can't wait for John Wick 3. It's going to be incredible.
Yes.
Okay. Then John Wick 3 comes out, but just before John Wick 3, and they can't change their date, Infinity War Endgame Part 2 comes out. Or actually, it's not even a Part 2, just Endgame comes out.
Just Endgame.
To end the game.
Yep.
And they say, you know, we're releasing this shit a week before you.
Yep.
So you're going, oh fuck. Okay, that's gonna hurt the sales, but it's still John Wick 3.
Yeah.
Turns out John Wick 3, not as good as 1 or 2.
No.
Pretty lackluster.
Yeah, now you're really
fucked.
fucked.
Now you're fucked. Yeah. Because now not only are people all going to see this movie, the Endgame movie, but now
you've got a
mediocre John Wick movie that people were looking forward to. And most people can't afford to go to the movies twice in 7 days or 2 weeks or whatever.
It's
right?
like $90.
You literally have to remortgage a house.
Yes.
And skip a car payment.
And that's if you don't get popcorn.
Exactly. That's just an admission.
Yeah.
Regular ticket.
You gotta suck somebody's dick if you're gonna get popcorn.
Oh, you're knobbing some slobbing cob. Oh yeah, easy. So that's the show. That's what it's like. That's what Anthem was. Anthem had some hype. Anthem looked pretty.
Anthem had a lot of hype.
Anthem was the thing that we were all looking for. It was like, yeah. All the Destiny fans were like,
it's gonna save the genre.
Yeah,
this is it.
Yeah. And then it comes out, and it's fucking. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is a hand job. I was looking for a blow job. You know, rub my taint. I wanted the meat. I wanted the potatoes.
You gave me a sad hand job and you cried while doing it.
Fuck. And you didn't even use your tears as lube.
No.
It was dry.
Nothing.
And it sucked. So that's what that is. And Anthem, you know what? Fuck them. I haven't played it, so, you know, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, it doesn't look great.
There's not many people that would disagree with you right now.
And there's not a lot of people that are praising the Anthem. I mean, right now we should be like conflicted. Like, damn it, I want to play some Apex right now, but Anthem's so fucking fire. I got to turn this goddamn game off. Whatever happened to the time where there was so many good games, like actual quality games, that you're like, fuck, what am I going to play? Or it's like, I'm not even going to buy that game because I know I'm going to play that game.
Yes.
And all my friends want to play this game.
Yes.
So I bitch better not play that game.
Yep.
So I don't want to buy that game. And it's expensive. And now it's just like games are free. And it's so much shit out there that if you're going to come out with a AAA title and it costs money,
it better be fucking good.
It better be the John Wick 3 to close out the fucking Catalina wine mixer. That's what it needs to be. And if it is, then
You've
You
done
did
it! Congratulations!
You did it!
And if you didn't, you're dead.
It's endgame.
BioWare needed that shit to be so good after Mass Effect Andromeda. They needed a game to come out
That wasn't it.
and smash it.
That wasn't it.
They couldn't even get, even if this game wasn't just like okay, but it was actually good.
Yeah, no.
That's still not
It's
good
not
enough.
good enough.
They need to be great or
they
better.
Yeah, they needed to bring back those feels
Yeah.
of the old school.
They needed
Mass
to
Effect.
make people feel fucking good about BioWare,
Yeah.
and that did absolutely nothing to make people feel better about BioWare.
No,
I don't give a shit about BioWare anymore.
no one does. It's like
It's over.
Bethesda. It's like Bethesda.
Bethesda, you need to re-earn my trust now.
Yep. And something tells me their next game is not going to re-earn that trust for you.
It's fucking wild, bro.
Rip.
So Anthem is bad. Okay at best. Do with that as you will. Speaking of poor choices, THQ Nordic, who had been making loads of fantastic choices. We've talked about them on the podcast several times. THQ, who almost completely left the market, managed to get back in, scrounge up all of their might, and started buying up a lot of older franchises and putting out remasters and stuff of them. They're selling well. People were like, let's go. You're doing well. You know, we're cheering for you.
Yay.
And then somebody on their fucking social media marketing team said, hey, you know what? Let's derail this train entirely. What if we didn't, and Ask Me Anything, not on Reddit, where literally everyone else would do an Ask Me Anything, because that's a good and safe choice. What if we went to 8chan?
I actually don't know what 8chan is, but I'm going to assume it's 4chan 2X.
Yep.
Okay.
Give or take. 8chan is like Lolly Central. You know what a lolly is?
No.
A Japanese anime. It's like, you know, lolly would be like the lolly is like Japan getting around pedophilia. So it's like a girl who might technically be of age, but she ends up looking like she's 8 years old to get the dress and the fucking umbrella, and she talks like she's 8 and she looks like she's 8, but she's really 48. Like that's the like the idea, right?
So it's basically allowing pedophiles to sleep at night?
Yeah, pretty much. So, it's bad. It's not a great place. And they decided to do it there.
Why?
I don't know, and nobody knows.
Is the guy who ran the AMA a pedo?
Apparently, maybe, no, I don't know. But when he was confronted with it, they like doubled and tripled down on it. Like, oh, people are just being too sensitive. It's fine. It'll be okay. This went perfectly. It's whatever. And then you saw like the responses to some of the shit and and they were saying some really weird fucking things. And it was wild, dude. It was wild.
None of that's okay.
No.
None of it is okay. He needs to be fired yesterday. There is no reason why you're holding your AMA for THQ or Nordic or whatever it is, THQ Nordic, on 8chan, where a bunch of 48-year-old 8-year-olds
Dude, it's
why? I could think of, on the top of my head, I could think of about 5 places, not only that more people are at, but 5 other places. I could actually probably think of 20, but I'm just going to say 5 for the sake of it, that you could host this where you're not compared to pedos.
Jeff, I've got an old GeoCities website that I'd rather host an AMA on.
Yes!
Or here's an idea. Don't host an AMA! At all! If your only options are don't host an AMA or host it on 8chan, the answer is don't have an AMA!
The answer is you've already fucked up because 8chan's an option. You've already lost. Just stop the madness, man. People are fucking stupid. Dude, Jesus Christ, dude.
How the shit did they fucking come up with that decision?
Like, why? Like, it doesn't even make sense. I could see if it was some sort of weird fetish shit game, like it was like some kind of Japanese pedo game.
Which exists.
Which probably exists.
That's the
thing. Then
I
could see them going on 8chan because they're pandering to their
They're with their brethren.
Yes, they're with those people. So
people who may or may not end up in jail later in life.
Or they're already in jail. One of the two. Like, fuck me. Like, holy fuck, dude.
Oh, God. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Is that like the upgrade where 4chaners they just kind of mold into 8chaners and they just kind of graduate up?
So I don't know, because it's been about a decade since I've gone to 4chan.
I've gone there one time.
Because I went there because I remember learning about 4chan literally like in university, so like 10 years ago.
Yes.
And out of sheer fucking curiosity.
Yes.
Because some things like Rage Comics started there and things. So I went there, looked at, and I was like, I was there for about 45 minutes, and I
you lasted a while.
I was the weirdest stage of confused and scared.
Yes.
And disturbed.
Yes.
And it was weird because you'd go through sections where, you know, people were just being trolly, but they were like normal people. And then you'd get on like this strip of just like, what in the fuck is that happening here?
Yes.
And then you'd go back to like almost normalcy, and then just another big swath of fucking what?
Yes.
And so yeah, it's weird, and it got worse and
it's
worse
where
and
the
worse.
weak-minded go. It's like somebody that doesn't have much to very moldable. Like it's almost as if when a kid is 8 years old, 6, 8 years old, and they don't know, they're basically just soaking up everything. They're just like that. You know, you tell them that fucking Santa Claus exists, they're all about the Santa Claus. You tell them that there's a boogeyman in the closet, they ain't going near that closet. They're gonna have nightmares forever. You tell them the Earth is flat, they become a flat earther. They're moldable. So this 4chan is a place where young adults that have never had any direction in their lives, they just go on there, and then it's like the dark side, and Palpatine's like, yes, feel the power, yes, and then they just slowly turn into this fucking trolly, weird, sick, confused individual. I've seen some shit, bro. I went there once. I remember where I was. I was at the first apartment that Kayla and I lived on.
Yeah.
The bed bug place.
Yeah.
I was in the guest room. This was just after you built me a computer.
Right.
So I just got this computer.
Fuck, that is a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, bro. This was before LAGTV.
Straight up.
This was straight up before, just before. Probably maybe like 6 months before or so. So I go on there, and I don't even remember how I got there. Like, it wasn't like I was just typing in 4chan.
You got there via somewhere else?
Via somewhere else. And I'll be honest with you, I think I was looking, at the time, I think there was like a celebrity sex tape or something, and I was trying to find, it had something to do with porn.
Probably.
100% it did. I know it did. Had something to do with porn, but it wasn't like where I'm going for my porn. Like, if I want, back then it was like ujiz.com.
Absolutely.
I want to have a fab session, I'm going to ujiz.
It's probably still that.
This wasn't even, I wanted to have a fab session. I wanted to just see if this video, and all of the sites that normally had it didn't have it yet. So it was on 4chan. So, and I don't even remember what it was. I just know that that's why I was there. So I go there, and I'm looking for this video, and I just can't find this video. And as I'm looking, I'm like going down the rabbit hole. You know, it's like you're on YouTube.
And you get deeper and deeper.
You get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're seeing some shit, bro. You're seeing some shit, bro. I remember when I was on, at the time, I was looking through, and I was looking for this video, and instead I was seeing a bunch of like random lookalikes of people, and they're like tricking people to think it was the real person and whatever. And then there was this video, it was like embedded on there. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be it. So I press play, and this is when I turned it off. It trolled the fucking out of me, and it was that dude that sat on a bottle, and the bottle broke in his ass. And I immediately said, fuck. Any and all of my being that wanted to watch this video, it just instantly went, and I had never returned to 4chan in my life. And it's my fault. It's my fault. I went on there, and I stayed on there for about 20 minutes.
Too long.
And it's just going in. And it was just getting darker, and it was like a car crash. I couldn't stop scrolling down. It was some fucking weird shit, bro. And that was it. That was my exit.
4chan really, though, truthfully, isn't as bad as people make it out to be. But it is bad. Like, really bad. It's just that it's definitely, the Chan boards are definitely where some of the most interesting members of society gather and discuss and post interesting things.
What's next?
What's next? Let's see. We've got, here's a little bit more on the upside. Pokemon Sword and Shield got announced this week. Did you see the video for it?
I did. The Pokemon Detective?
No, not the movie. Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh, no.
New mainland games.
I didn't see it.
Mainline games.
No.
Yes. And you know what, dude? It's an actual Pokemon RPG in the way that Pokemon probably needed to be about 5 years ago.
Okay.
But it's here. You should definitely watch the trailer.
Okay.
It's actually like you're out in an open world, running around. You get, and it looks like from the trailer, you work your way all the way up to fighting in the stadium battling and shit.
Okay.
It looked pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. It actually looked like the first. I said that the tweet that I had was, this looks like the first, at least from the trailer, the first Pokemon game to literally move into what you would have called the next generation of Pokemon that should have happened fucking forever ago. But we're finally there. We've reached it. This is the first new true iteration of Pokemon in fucking forever. We're not talking about, in this one you can jump. Like it's not that.
In this one, you can actually catch Pokemon.
You can actually throw Pokeballs.
Yeah.
No, this is like an actual iteration into a totally different genre.
You
almost.
fight them instead of feed them.
It's a fucking, yeah. So anyway, it looks good. It looks good. The starters look pretty good for the most part. You've got I'm surprised your timeline wasn't blown up with it like everyone else's. My timeline got fucking smashed.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't been on Twitter much with the kid.
That's probably why.
I've been.
It's because it's as you can imagine when a Pokemon game mainly comes, it's everywhere.
I haven't even heard of it. So this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
So there's the fire type is a little rabbit bro that everyone is praying to God isn't another fire fighting type for like the 90th time, because they have a raging hard-on erection for fire fighting types.
Now it's all the new Pokemon? We getting everything, or is it they scaling it back to a certain amount? Do we know?
I don't know if we know that yet.
Okay.
And then
because I really don't feel like catching Glassesmon or Tim Hortons Cupmon or iPhonemon.
It's probably going to be that, though.
Or literal Pylonmon.
It's probably going to happen.
Like, I actually think that there's actually a Pokemon called Pylonmon.
Well, there's a set of keys and garbage and a chandelier. So yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so Keymon.
That would be a step up.
Yeah, so that just put 2 eyes like right there.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably don't even need eyes. Just make a glow. And move and walk around
and just kind of casually move. Maybe not even move. Just be a pylon.
Just be a pylon.
Just be a pylon.
Yes,
that's it. So the grass type is a monkey, and the water type is a mudkip with a learning disability.
I thought all mudkips had learning disabilities.
Then that should tell you what this one looks like.
Okay.
All right. It's where it's at.
All right.
So yeah, we don't know what their evolutions look like yet, but we will see. This one's based, it's based on Britain of all places.
Interesting.
Jolly old Britain. So
I'll check that out tonight.
We're gonna be fighting Mary Poppins and Dick Van Dyke, and it will be wonderful. After that, what do we got? Oh, Zedd. It's a puzzle adventure game. By the folks at Cyan Studios, which is as you know, Myst, Riven, all that stuff. But it's not necessarily by the core group. It's actually they have a publishing arm now called, I think, what's it called? It's Cyan something. Anyway, I can't remember off the top of my head. But they are so technically publishing it. However, one of the guys leading the project is an original Myst developer. Okay. They also have the writer from
BioShock.
Oh my God. BioShock Infinite. There you go.
I got you.
Cyan Ventures is the name of it. Yeah. So that's a thing that's happening. I've peeped some of the video. I've peeped some of the images. It's looking great. The description of it was also on the site. But basically, the idea is. You are in the mind.
Do you see your person, or is
no?
It
this is a first. This is a first-person, I think, puzzle adventure game. So you're in the mind of an aging artist who I believe has some sort of like either dementia or onset dementia and stuff, and you're in his mind, which is gradually getting more and more broken up and fragmented and confused and whatnot, and you're working your way, I guess, through this thing.
How cool would it be? That sounds cool.
And it's all VR compatible for those who like VR. So and I think
it's
like it's pretty much every headset.
Cool.
PS4 has it. I think so.
Wicked.
Yeah,
that'd be my jam.
It's fire.
When you said that, I just thought of a cool concept. If they came out with a game like that on a different planet, so not Earth, not human, so you're an alien, but you've been in a crash, you wake up, you don't know who you are, you don't remember how to interact with anything. Exactly, so everything is foreign. So you're literally the
classic amnesia crutch for narratives.
But the language is different, the tech is different. You don't know, like even walking around, like grass isn't grass, it's something else. You have no idea what it is.
You step in the grass, you die.
How? Well, you never know. Like it might hurt you, right? Or like, the weather might hurt you. Like there's just things that you don't know and they could do so much with it because there's no rules.
It's true.
There's no like certain dials. Like maybe dials aren't dials. They're I don't know. You could come up with whatever the fuck you want. Be so cool.
Puzzle adventure games are fire. I love me some puzzle adventure games, and I'm very happy that Cyan is not only making more, but also publishing some from other people as well. That makes me a happy camper.
It just goes to show that there is a demand for it to some degree. They are definitely a niche. It's definitely
super
a niche
absolutely
genre. But the fact that they're still making these games tell you that they're doing reasonably well. Obviously, they probably don't cost an insane amount of money to make.
No.
Small team,
It's still a fair chunk of change, but it's not as big as like most budgets for games would be.
Hell no. A publishing company with, $10 to $20 million could easily bang out one of those games of quality.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. And turn a profit, especially when you've got reputable designers and names and writers and stuff behind it, right? Because guys like you and me are going to eat that up, and we're going to tell our friends that it was awesome. Like Abduction was great.
Abduction was fantastic. Abduction was like that game that you wish they had more money to actually expand the game a bit more and polish it some more. Because everything, given the budget they had,
it's amazing.
Fire.
It's amazing.
Absolute fire.
It's a good time.
So that's coming up. So I'll be keeping my eyes on that for sure, and probably playing it myself. Not in VR, but maybe Jeff will if it is in fact.
If it's on PS4 VR, I'll definitely play it on VR.
Mr. MaximusBlack.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the sound of Will Smith opening up an email that says, "Hey, we'd like to have you come back to the Suicide Squad team for a sequel."
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
It's a hard pass from all Willie Smith.
Well, what happened with that? For those that don't know, Will Smith obviously was Deadshot in or Killshot, whatever his name is.
Something shot. Nobody cared.
I think it's Killshot. Killshot.
He played Will Smith.
Killshot. It's Killshot.
He played his character from Men in Black.
So he basically got offered. Deadshot. It is Deadshot. I had it right the first time. For fuck's sakes, Killshot is the Eminem diss track. That's why I had it in the back of my mind.
Oh right,
Deadshot.
True. Yeah.
So he got offered to have some role in the next Suicide Squad. For those that don't know, James Gunn. James Gunn is directing and writing the next Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Which is pretty big because he's coming from Guardians of the Galaxy where he got fired.
Yeah, exactly.
And now he went from one ensemble cast to now another. And he didn't want to continue where the last director left off. He wants to do his own style, obviously.
If I'm going to be honest, that's probably a good idea.
Very smart because it wasn't the most well received. There was three or four of the characters that people really liked, but they didn't like the movie. Like the movie, like when the characters were actually interacting, it was good, but the movie itself wasn't. It was not a good. It was a mess. So he came in, and basically, from what we're hearing, is he spoke to Will Smith, and he said, "Listen, Will, we'd love to have you, but your part is going to be relatively small because I'm focusing on a different story." Will Smith ended up saying no. He ended up saying it had something to do with scheduling conflicts, which is just a nice way of saying a way of both parties saying we're leaving on our own turn. Like everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about. Public. Nobody needs to get angry at anybody. Just didn't work out. James Gunn is bringing back what's her face?
Margot Robbie.
Yes, is bringing her back and to apprise her role as
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. My brain right now is shot. Harley Quinn, and we don't know how big of a role that is, but
I'm going to go with big.
It could be. It could be fairly big because she's doing Birds of Prey, so she's filming her own movie right now. On top of that, rumor is Dave Bautista might be coming on board as he's like a big,
just because he likes James Gunn so much.
Oh, they're like bros, and he hates Marvel. Like he's done. He's like, I'm not playing Drax anymore. Fuck him, because they fired James Gunn. James Gunn's the one who put Dave Bautista on.
Yeah,
like basically made his career.
Yeah,
like because Dave was always doing those like WWE type movies where like a kind of a John Cena was before John Cena really kind of broke into Hollywood.
He was getting typecasted.
It was like B-rated movies. It was nothing big.
He saw the potential.
Yeah, and so Dave Bautista said, "Fuck you, working." For Disney's like working for the Nazis, right? He said literally something like that.
He might not be wrong.
No. So yeah. And also, yeah, that's right. Dave Bautista made an appearance on WWE there last week as well.
Oh, hit me up with that Bautista bomb.
So he's got all kinds of free time now since Guardians 3 is not happening for him. Not happening for anybody right now.
It's not like he needs the money.
No.
He's good.
He's good. So anyway, Will Smith probably said no for a number of reasons. First off, Will Smith is filming Bad Boys 3 right now.
Yeah.
And they already have Bad Boys 4 slated, so they're going to be filming 2 of them. But filming Bad Boys 3, he's got a movie coming out soon, I think, called like Gemini Man or something.
The Aladdin trilogy, which he will play Genie and
playing the Genie in Aladdin. But I think what the biggest thing is for Will Smith is he's a superstar.
He wants to be front and center.
He wants to be front and center.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
Now, I think the reason why he took the Suicide Squad before is because his career at the time wasn't doing great.
He wasn't doing anything.
He wasn't making splashes at the box office. He's had a couple of bombs.
Yep.
He wasn't really relevant all that much. Now he's like this new renaissance. He's on social media like crazy. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's one of the biggest. He's getting one of the most followed and watched celebrities on the internet. Period.
He paid a publicist a shitload of money and a PR guy or girl.
Yep.
And they have been working their ass off to get him in front of everyone again.
And it's working. It's working. He's basically pulled the Rock and the Kevin Hart route, and he's got his career back. So he's got a lot going for him now. Hell, he's got the Bad Boys 3 coming. That's going to do well. So I think what it boiled down to is he doesn't need it anymore.
Yep.
And if he's not going to be front and center, he's not doing it. He's not going to be.
He's riding this fucking train up. He doesn't want to have a little pit stop where he's playing second fiddle to Margot Robbie.
No. This is not happening.
No.
Not in this world or the next. So I don't blame Will Smith. So bye-bye Will Smith. He wasn't bad as Deadshot, but at the same time...
He played Jay.
Yeah, at the same time, he wasn't great either. Like it was just another...
He phoned it in, bro.
Yeah, of course he did.
He fucking phoned that shit in hard.
Of course he did.
Most of the people in that movie phoned it in hard.
Yes.
Margot Robbie is about the only one in that movie that didn't phone it in hard.
Look at all these people from the StarCraft
cast
coming in.
You
see? It worked.
Playing 4D chess.
We got him.
And you're here just in the nick of time, too, because we're going to get over to the stuff that you guys just want to hear all the time, which is us talking about bullshit, otherwise known as Ask Us Questions. But we're not there yet.
Nope.
This is completely nothing that that's major to talk about, but I want to put in here anyway, just because it is at least a bit of a turning point in the movie segment. Samsung is no longer going to be making Blu-ray players.
I heard that. I saw
That's big.
That's pretty huge.
Because Ultra HD is still technically on Blu-ray as a standard, but it's not considered like Blu-ray is still 1080p if you think Blu-ray. So they're stepping away from that. It'll be 4K, Ultra HD, whatever the fuck. So that's not happening. So buy your Samsung shit now.
Get it now because, well, it's going to be gone.
Although I'll be honest with you, Sony makes the best Blu-ray players, so maybe don't care.
Yeah, I've only ever owned one Blu-ray player in my life, and it was Samsung, but it was super slow. Like I'd put the disc in, it would take a while to load, and all this.
Not all Blu-ray players are made equal.
The best Blu-ray player I've ever used, my PlayStation.
It's because it was for the longest time. For the longest time, it was the best one. It eventually got passed, but for the longest time, it was without question the best.
Yeah.
And most of that was because it got to borrow gaming hardware in order to run the whole thing, right? You know, you get a regular ass Blu-ray player, and you're just fucking.
Well, and back then too, when they first came out, Blu-ray players were expensive as fuck.
Super
so
expensive.
People were just buying PlayStations.
Just
They're
for
like,
the Blu-ray player.
I'll pay extra $100.
Yeah.
And I'll have a fucking PlayStation.
Yeah. Oh, it was no brainer.
And it's a way better Blu-ray player.
No brainer.
It was like, why are people buying anything other than a PlayStation?
I've owned I owned a Samsung one that was garbage. Then I owned a Panasonic one that was pretty good. Panasonic made some pretty good Blu-ray players. And then the last one, which I'm still using now, is a region-free Sony Blu-ray player.
Nice.
So it doesn't matter where I'm getting movies or TV shows from. They'll play it everything.
Nice.
Any USB stick I plug into it, it will play every format under the sun. And it's fucking instantaneous.
Nice.
Press the button, that shit is on. It loads it quick. It has some of the best upscaling and 24p playback for cinema that you can get. Cost me like $250 at the time, but I'm just gonna have it, and then I'll hold on to it, and then I'll have my Blu-ray stuff, and if I ever want to, it's all there. And if I buy shit later on online, it'll play it anywhere in the world. If I buy some shit in Japan, doesn't matter.
It's not like you're gonna buy any shit from Japan. Well, you never know. You might get some like anime or something.
Yeah, anime
right?
or like Europe sometimes have different versions of Blu-rays that we don't get.
That's true.
So yeah, I'll be in the clear. Next up is probably the weirdest headline I read in the last week.
I can see it though.
I can totally see it.
I can fucking see it.
I can definitely see it, but it's still like blowing my mind. The names that I'm seeing attached to this is kind of fucking with me a little bit. Those books are just not made to be standing up today.
No, man. The Grind, now available on Amazon.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Is going to be playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic.
Yes.
The deals for the project, or for the Hogan project, are in the midst of closing with Netflix.
Yes.
Producing it will be Michael Sugar, the Academy Award winner behind Spotlight, who will produce via his Netflix-based Sugar 23, and Phillips and Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
Who will be producing via their banner Joint Effort, and also producing will be Hemsworth and Eric Bischoff, who is the head of WCW.
Yep.
I'm in.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm in.
This is going to be fire.
I'm fucking in,
I'm going to tell you right now it's going to be fire. Chris Hemsworth is like the perfect person to play this. Not only is he jacked.
He's the size. He's got the blue eyes, the blonde hair.
He's just going to juice up a little harder.
Are they going to shave his head?
Oh,
Put the bandana on?
100%. Dude, he's going to absolutely murder this
role.
role.
Are they going to do NWO where he like dyes part of his beard black and shit?
Dude, well, no. What this biopic is, from what I've been reading.
Because I don't know the scope.
What this biopic originally was supposed to be, actually, was Hulk Hogan's like his rise, and then his fall, like his fall with the sex tape, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they scrapped a lot of that, and they're going with his beginnings.
So Terry in a car,
so
playing rock music in a bar.
Yes. So him becoming the iconic guy
from like
wrestling people in fucking warehouses and shitty places, like showing his upbringing.
What's the guy's name at the power plant? He was a Japanese guy who was a trainer, and he went in, and the first thing they did to him was break his leg, and they said, if you're going to be in this, you'll come back. That's what did you not know this?
I didn't know that.
That was the first thing he did.
You're spoiling shit, bro.
It was old school.
You're spoiling shit.
You go in there, and I can't remember his name. Fuck, what was his name? But he was like the premier wrestler coach. He was out of Japan. And he straight up broke his leg, which, keep in mind how big that leg is. But they broke his leg and sent him home. And it was, if you came back, they knew you were going to take it seriously because they didn't want to train a bunch of fuckboys to get into wrestling. And it was just, he got spotted because he was 6'8", 320 pounds, playing a guitar in a bar. The guitar looked like a goddamn ukulele. You can see pictures of it online. He straight up looks like guitar's tiny.
Dude, that's what you're getting. They're doing they're doing the come up. And I know that Hemsworth is gonna crush it, bro. He's got that voice too. Like he's got that deep. And when
what you gonna do, brother?
That's it, dude. He's gonna
the 24-inch pythons.
He's gonna have the fucking 24-inch guns.
He's
bro.
He's gonna be practicing the trio of the side pose, the double guns, and then the most powerful. Yeah, he'll be doing it.
Oh yeah, bro. It's
and
gonna
the
be fucking ripping the shirt.
The ear.
He's gonna be ripping that fucking
shit.
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be fire. So that was dope. That's very dope.
Hiro Matsuda, that's his name, Matsuda.
Like, you got Eric Bischoff in the back. Like, that guy knows wrestling in and out.
He knows Hogan better than pretty much anyone else.
You've got Bradley Cooper, who just finished doing A Star Is Born, which, you know, he's got some chops, man.
He's good.
He's got the whole team, and
everything's
it's Netflix.
Good.
It's Netflix. It's a biopic. I don't have to go to the movie theater and see this damn thing. It's going to be a fire home experience on the OLED with some surround sound and Hemsworth just saying fucking, "What you gonna do, brother?" Oh, it's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Fuck, I already know how all of this is gonna go. I'm still gonna watch it. Because I already know everything about Hogan.
See, I don't know everything.
Oh,
right? So,
dude, you're gonna be mind fucked, bro. Oh my god.
It's gonna be dope.
It's good shit.
The one thing you don't have on here before we move over to tech support.
Yeah, I probably missed something.
Detective Pikachu.
Right, yeah, the trailer. I watched it. Okay, so I tweeted about this. This is my thoughts on it.
I saw the tweet.
I'm conflicted. Because part of me is looking at this going, what the fuck? The other part is going, I actually kind of like it. And that's where I'm at.
Okay, for me, the first trailer that I watched, I was more on the side of, what the fuck? I don't want Ryan Reynolds doing this. I don't get this. Why? Okay.
Which was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was me too.
The second trailer came out. It was more of the same, but much more optimistic.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, why Ryan Reynolds, though? This is a little weird. What the fuck?
Oh, shit, that's Mewtwo.
Okay. I'll see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's I'm like, I want to love it. I think it's going to do really well. I think it's going to do really well simply because there's a lot of buzz going around with it right now. Pokemon fans, kids, everybody's going to go and see this movie. I think it's going to probably get shit on by the critics.
Almost guaranteed.
But the fans might like it. And I also think the CGI doesn't look all that great.
Hit or miss.
Yeah, like they had a really good shot. Obviously, the Pikachu looks good. But some of the other Pokemon, like even the Mewtwo, looked very like.
It's also a trailer. Still,
it's a trailer, so they still have time.
Yeah,
they still have time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't their best foot forward in terms of the look. If I'm gonna watch it, especially just coming off of fucking Alita Battle Angel, which I saw twice.
Everything is gonna look a little rough,
of course. But I mean, they did such a good job in that you couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah.
And I know they're Pokemon, but it's weird because some of the Pokemon, like the Charizard, they're going for a realistic look, like almost a.
It's a 50-50 split between what they look like in the games or cartoons.
Yeah, and then what they would look like if it was real.
Yeah, they have fur.
Yes, but it's weird. It's just a weird look to it because when they look real, they don't look as cute, and they don't look as Pokemon-y. But at the same time, I'm okay with realistic, but the rest of the movie isn't really all that realistic. It's a tone. It's just fucking weird.
It's a weird tone mix.
It's fucking weird, man.
It is. That is true, and that's my thing with it. So I'm grappling with it too. Weird part of me just kind of likes it because it's stupid and it involves something from my childhood enough that I'm like casually interested. And the second trailer was better than the first one at conveying what the movie was actually going to be like.
Yeah, it was.
And so like I'm.
The last thing I really want, like, if you're going to give me a Pokemon movie, give me Pokemon. Because I think what they're doing is they're giving us Ryan Reynolds. And I think
sure they are.
I think the whole sell isn't even Pikachu. It's Ryan Reynolds doing a Pikachu.
It's definitely Ryan
like,
Reynolds.
It's like...
how do you sell this movie without somebody like Ryan Reynolds?
I don't know. You get somebody that's complete opposite of Ryan Reynolds. You know, obviously you're not going to get someone that sounds like Pika Pika. You know, you're not going to get that.
No.
Maybe somebody that's a little more alpha, like just deeper, like just a voice that it almost doesn't match Pikachu because in a weird way his voice kind of I guess Ryan Reynolds.
James Earl Jones as Pikachu.
I don't know if you go that far, but you know what I'm saying. I think if they went just a little, they're on like the left side.
Morgan Freeman as Pikachu.
I think that's a little too crazy too. I don't really know. Like, you know, somebody if somebody like Jason Statham, right? Like a voice like that, like a voice that's not like, just hearing Jason Statham do more Jason Statham. That was actually not terrible.
That was a pretty good Jason
that
Statham.
Wasn't that was
good. That's good.
I surprised myself.
Don't try and do it again.
Yeah.
Retire that one now.
It's done.
It's the first and last Jason Statham
absolutely
you will ever do.
But like something that's a little bit more deep. Or since it's Detective Pikachu, get somebody that's really detective-y. Like imagine like Liam Neeson. Like playing somebody like Pikachu that's very detective-y, you know what I mean? Like serious, like a serious tone.
If it was Liam Neeson, it would have to be a revenge flick.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
Liam Neeson as Pikachu, starring in a Pokemon movie where Ash actually dies and Pikachu is out for revenge. Has a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
And they still do shaky cam and 58 jump cuts for Pikachu to get over a fence.
So maybe, you know what? Maybe this would work, and maybe it's still gonna work. How about this?
A particular set of TMs. That's it. Liam Neeson.
That's
it done.
Dude, if Deadpool didn't exist with Ryan Reynolds, I'd be down for this. If I saw the trailer and it was Ryan Reynolds doing that, but Deadpool didn't exist, oh man, I'm all in.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm all in.
So if Deadpool didn't exist, if we were in a timeline where Ryan Reynolds wasn't Deadpool, then this would be
100%.
Yeah.
I'd believe it. I'd believe it, and I'd want it because I'd be laughing harder.
That's fair.
I'd be enjoying it more.
Because there's a lot of Deadpool in this movie.
Dude, the way he even delivers shit.
Because that's
it's
just
Deadpool.
That's Ryan Reynolds.
It's how he does his comedy.
Yeah,
it's
him.
his shtick.
Yeah.
It's like Vince Vaughn when he talks really fast and he's doing his talk fasting shit.
Yeah, that's him.
That's Vince Vaughn. That's
all
what
he's
Vince
got.
Vaughn does. That's what he's got. Right? It's like Ben Stiller or Adam Sandler doing Adam Sandler. Except that Ryan Reynolds is cooler than all those people. So, it's just that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Well, I'll watch it. We'll see. I might be pleasantly surprised.
It might go down to something good.
Speaking of last TV show,
yes,
that I haven't watched yet, and I've been hearing fire things about the new season of True Detective.
I've only seen the first episode,
dude. I've been hearing the shit is fire.
Well, then I'm gonna have to go on.
That's what I've been hearing. They're saying that it's like season 1.
Really?
Very fire.
Oh man!
And it's got that. Because
I wasn't sold after episode 1.
It's got that black dude, the dude from Alita,
Hakeem Olajuwon.
So racist, you fucking racist.
Wesley Snipes.
Just because he's dark skinned and he wears shades, he's
James Earl Jones stars in True Detective season 3.
Hersha something or Mersha. Anyway, I'm like falling in love with this dude, man. I really like his shit.
Just not enough to learn his name.
Yeah, I know. I gotta start.
Mahershala
Ali. That's it. I'm never gonna forget your name again. Mahershala Ali.
You're probably gonna forget it.
I'm gonna forget it.
Guaranteed.
But anyway, he's crushing it, man. He's fucking winning Oscars.
Yeah.
I gotta watch The Green Book. But anyway, he's in it.
Yeah.
And apparently it's pretty good.
No, the first episode was good.
Yeah.
But it didn't grab me like the first episode of the first season did,
Well,
which
the
is
bar
fair.
The bar
it's
high,
a very high bar. Like usually TV shows, even if they're really good, it's like 2 or 3 episodes to get your hooks.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was spoiled by that first season where the first episode I was 100% in. I was
True Detective season 1's some of the best TV I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, straight up.
It's up there with like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Oh, absolutely.
It's mature.
Easily.
It's mature good. Like
Yeah.
if you don't like True Detective season 1, you're really you're.
Do you even like good television?
Yeah, exactly. Like you
or cinema.
You fucking like Mr. Bean. You know what I mean? Like
but nothing wrong with Mr. Bean.
No, there's everything wrong with Mr. Bean now. Like that shit's old. Or like you fucking like
You thought Geely was a good movie.
Yes. Like that's it. Like you enjoy bad shit.
You gave Ben Affleck the pass on Geely.
Season 1 of True Detective is like it's just beautiful. It's so fucking good, man. It's so good. It's so good that there'll never be another True Detective that good again. But it's okay.
That's fine.
As long as it comes close.
As long as it's not season 2.
That's cool. I didn't even watch season 2. I said, fuck that.
I got 4 or 5 episodes
I got 1
in.
episode in. I said, nope.
I checked the
it's over.
Fuck out.
Because the season will just ruin this whole name for me.
It was bad, bro.
House on Haunted Hill.
Yes.
Coming back. They're doing, instead of doing a sequel, they're doing anthology. So it's gonna keep the world, and they're gonna dive into more of. I don't know if they're gonna do more of this house or another house.
Okay.
So from the podcast that I was listening to, They heard that it's in the same universe.
Okay.
But it's going to go to another place.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be a whole new family, whole new experience,
Mm-hmm.
but in the same world, same universe, and things will sort of tie in.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's going to be like, maybe we'll see one or two of those characters pop up, or maybe they'll be watching the news as a family and they'll see the house on Haunted Hill, and I don't know. I have no idea. But it's in that world.
Well, we don't. I guess what's going to allow for that is that we don't know what the greater force.
Yes.
Driving all this stuff is yet.
Exactly.
So that
could be the thing.
Allows them to do this stuff. Maybe that's what we're going to get a little bit more and more information on is what is.
But the writer said they feel as though the characters had their proper send-off. They're done with those stories.
Absolutely. That's done.
Like the show is so huge. They got the same writers, directors coming. It's coming back.
Well, hopefully they can get a repeat on that. Make it good again. Mr. MaximusBlack.
Yeah.
Maybe a little tech support.
Tech support. Hit up patreon.com/LAGTV if you want your questions answered.
That's right.
Also, we got through all of the StarCraft stuff. So if you guys are Patreon supporters, make sure to send in your StarCraft replays, NovaWar says, noises, whatever it is at what tier you're at. When cheese fails, send them all in. We're out of games.
On
Cast
Patreon.
them all today. On Patreon. Patreon.com/LAGTV.
That's where it's done.
That's where it's at.
Get on it.
We got back to $2,100.
We did it.
We're eating.
Ish.
We're eating. Feed me.
Feed me more. I think that's a tagline for a wrestler.
Feed me more?
Now that I say that. I don't think he's a wrestler anymore, though. Shit, what was his name? Anyway, doesn't matter. And Nora asks, if you could see any musical performance of any kind of what or who, specifically, would you see alive or dead?
Michael Jackson. Done. Easy. Without a doubt.
You just made it harder for me.
I mean, there's no. I mean, it would either be Michael Jackson or Linkin Park when Chester was alive. Those are it. That's the show.
I'm gonna say Michael, but he'll be. So you're saying those two. I'll include Michael as my second.
Okay.
Queen.
That'd be a good one. I hear the movie. I mean, it won so many Oscars. I haven't seen it yet, but once it comes out on Netflix or wherever, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Queen. Would Queen put on the show?
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that Freddie Mercury is the greatest frontman of all time. Period. And they had fire music. So
they did. I don't know. I don't know how you can beat Michael Jackson. Seriously, I just don't even know.
Dude, I was on Imager the other day, and somebody's dad dug up. They found it, an old ticket stub where they were front row Queen in like '78 or something like that, and the ticket price was like £7 or something like that.
The dream. If he was alive today, you'd be paying $700 just to get in the door.
Yeah. $750 for the beer.
That's a 12-ounce.
That's in a red cup.
Get fucked.
But that would be my choice for sure. Queen and definitely, obviously, Michael, if you could.
Yeah.
Those two would be the back and forth. What else we got? Shady asks, since Jeff recently had a baby, what was the last thing that made you feel high from happiness? For Jeff before he had Kai.
I would say the day that I got my car.
Oh, the
Benz, yeah. So when I got that and I took it out for a first rip, actually it wasn't even the first rip. I think where I was really, really had a bit of a high is when I took my dad in there for the first time and seeing his reaction of it. And it was like, I've just never driven I've driven cars before, but this is like
it's a different animal.
This is a fucking,
different animal entirely.
It's just like you haven't even driven a vehicle until you don't even know what you're missing out on, right? So that was like, I guess the last sort of before that, obviously my wedding was long before that. That was back in 2014, so I can't say that, right? It was saying the last time before that, right?
Well, it's just whenever or whatever.
Oh,
really.
Whenever?
Whenever, whatever.
Oh, well, then I would say my wedding.
Yeah, of course.
When I got married.
Yeah.
I thought we meant like the last
like
time.
in order of
so
appearance?
before the the last time.
No, I don't really get to that point very often. I'm not a person that experiences like super low lows or super high highs. I live at the fucking purgatory of emotion.
He lives at the equator.
Just hanging out.
Shit just doesn't happen.
It's a little hot there too sometimes.
Yeah.
Fucking sunburn.
See, I'm a high low guy all the time.
Yeah.
I chase those highs and I hit the lows hard.
Yeah,
So
I'm fucking right here pretty much almost all the time.
I think that has a lot to do with somebody's personality too. You're
100%.
a very lax.
I've
seen
you
get angry like maybe 2 or 3 times in my life.
Yeah.
Where I've like, okay, he's actually fucking pissed.
It's not very often.
It's not like I've seen you get annoyed like most people. Yeah. But or like I've seen you get excited a couple of times like over like. But I don't think I've ever seen you like just fucking like I don't think I've ever seen you like come to my house and be like, Jeff, you're fucking not gonna believe this shit, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was amazing. Like you're like
never.
Like that's something I would do, right?
Never
like
once.
Adam, bro, are you sitting? Sit. No, sit. You're gonna need to sit. Like that's how I am. Adam's like Adam would do this one. Bro. That's
excited.
That's
excited.
That is Adam's excitement level. That is when I know he's got something like more than
I say
normal.
bro consecutively.
That's it, bro. It's it. Just bro.
That's
bro.
so
and he's
true.
got this cheeky smirk on his face, like he's got
grin.
the secret, like he's about to tell me something that I need to know about, right? But he can't get overly excited. That's it.
It never happened. So I don't know. So like, I mean, there are events, obviously, but the closest I ever came to having like a true high off of it was leaving my last exam of university and getting in the car, and I turned on the car and like. You do university or whatever 4 years, you get in a routine that even when you're done your exams, you go home, you always know that there's more coming. But this was the time that I knew there was no more coming. I'm done.
Finished.
And I knew in my last exam, I fucking murdered it. I was done in like, I was like the second person done. I walked the fuck out of there, shook my prof's hand, get the fuck out. Got into that car, turned on the radio. There was like some shit pop music on. I can't remember the name of the song, but whenever it comes on, it reminds me because it's that song that played when I first got into the car.
Yeah.
And I drove home and I couldn't get the smile off my face the whole way home. I was like, I'm fucking done.
I'm done.
I'm out.
Time to go be a StarCraft caster.
So that was probably fuck. And then the smile went away. No. But that was probably the closest was that because I like busted my ass for 4 years and I knew that I killed the last exam and I knew it was fucking over with and I was going to be out of school and that was probably the closest I came. Otherwise, it's usually just bro.
That's it.
Bro.
That's it. That's the show.
That's it. That's as excited as
Adam.
I get.
That is it.
That's the show. That's the fucking show. What inevitable... This is also Shady. Shady's got some good questions this week. What inevitable thing in your future are you both not looking... Oh, I thought this was both looking forward to. This is not looking forward to. I'm going to go and change that and say, what are we looking forward to? Just to keep this not morbid. And then one thing are you hoping will happen in the future? All right, so I'm taking the second part of the question. So what inevitable thing are you looking forward to in the future?
I'm looking forward to my boy getting older. It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Now that I have a son, before he was born, in the back of my mind, I knew I was having a kid, but it never felt real, ever. Like, at no point, as my wife is getting bigger, as we get closer, as we go to these doctor's appointments, it still doesn't feel real. I never dreamed about my kid. I never visualized how he would look. I never thought about what it would be like. It was almost like I was trying to, I mentally blocked it out. Then when he's born, dude, it's weird, man. It's a weird feeling. I remember Kayla, and I'll talk about the maybe next week, next podcast. We'll get into my whole experience a little bit more because I don't want to sit here all night and talk about it. But when we were in the OR room, because for those that don't know, Kayla was in labor for a while, and the baby she wasn't getting any more dilated. She was like 4 or 5 centimeters dilated. You need to get to about 10 centimeters dilated before you can actually start pushing.
Yeah.
So she was having contractions. They were giving her some drugs and stuff like that to like make the contractions bigger. Anyway, baby started to get a little stressed out in there. Kayla started to get a little worried. It was nothing too serious, but the doctors were basically like, we could be here for another 8, 10, 12 hours of doing this.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, Kayla's like, let's just have a C-section. It'll be safer for the baby. I know it's a little bit more of a risk for me, but we want to make sure the baby's safe. So we ended up going to get a C-section. Literally within 10, 15 minutes of her saying she wants one, the anesthetic, I don't know whatever you call what the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Person that does the anesthetic. The anesthetic came in, went over sort of. She at the time she already had an epidural in.
Yeah.
So they just had to pump her with more drugs through the epidural. So they had to come in. She had to sign a waiver and stuff to like go because it's major surgery.
Yeah.
And they were going all over like some of the potential risks and so on and so forth. So we signed that, and then within 5-10 minutes, we're in that OR room. They didn't waste no time. We're in the OR room. They're like, all right, we've got the there's like a big sheet like right below her chest line. So they put that shit up, and they said, would you like to see the baby as he's coming out? And Kayla looks at me, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, I don't know. I might pass out. Like, I'm not really good with vomit.
There's one thing
blood,
watching it come out of your wife's nether regions. It's another thing to watch somebody split your wife in half at the abdominals and have them haul a baby
I was like, I don't know, And then I could see the look of disappointment on Kayla's face because she wanted to see it, and she's already been going through hell and back. So I said, you know what? Sure, let's do it. So let's do it. And Kayla's like, no, like you don't have to. I'm like, no, I want to. I want to see it.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
I want to see our boy come out. So she said, okay, all right, and immediately like she did that thing that your woman where you're like can you do this for me, and you're like she's like, you don't have to. And you're like, no, it's okay. No, you really don't have to. No, it's okay. Okay, right?
Yeah,
and they're like
super excited.
It's like they ask you like twice to make sure, because they want to make sure that you're okay with it. But as soon as you give them okay, then they're like, yes, okay, thank you. I'm on board. So I'm all right. So we're in there. Procedure only takes 10 minutes. Like,
it's super quick.
Like we're in there, and Kayla's nervous as fuck. And I've never seen Kayla in this sort of position before. And I'm nervous because not only am I about to meet my boy, but on top of that, my wife is literally laying on this bed. I'm holding her hand, and there's like 6 doctors in this room.
Oh, yeah.
You got one person doing the drugs. You've got 2 people like doing the surgery. You've got another person that's observing. You've got other people on the side that are like passing shit over to surgeons and stuff. There's all this stuff going on. There's these big lights going down. I've got this curtain. And my wife is scared, and I can tell she's nervous, she's scared, she's shaking a little bit, and the drugs are making her shake too. Like these drugs are like fucking like making her like seize up and go these weird compulsions. I'm like, fuck me, okay. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her, and I like to calm her down, and I don't even think she knew that the procedure had started yet. So I'm
probably
like,
not.
I said, you ready to see our boy? You ready to meet our boy? And I love you. I'm so proud of you. Like, you're doing great. I'm doing the regular stuff. And I'm like, how dark do you think he's gonna be? I'm just trying to get her mind off of what the fuck is going on.
How urban is our baby gonna be?
Yeah. So how urban is he gonna be? So next thing you know the doctor goes, all right, we're almost ready, and we're both like, all right,
okay.
So there's double-sided curtain. So there's a solid green one, and then behind it's like a plastic sheet.
Yeah.
You can see through it, but it's not like HD clear. It's like looking through plastic.
It obscures it a bit.
So they pull down the green curtain, and Kayla's laying down. So what I have to do is I have to take her hand and kind of and she can't move her body.
No.
She's literally numbed out, right, from basically below her tits down.
She currently doesn't have much abdominals to be able to use anyway.
So I'm holding her head up like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and during the time too, she's power puking. So I'm holding a barf bag, right, like to her left. She's over,
of course.
She's throwing up, and I hate puke, right? I'm
yeah.
fuck. And she's throwing up, and I'm like wiping. I've got wiping down her face because she got puke all on the side of her chin and running down her chest. And next thing you know, the curtain comes down, her head's up. She's got the perfect view. So it's almost like if my head was, or her head was here at the table, and she just has enough to kind of see the surface.
Just get a little
just
bit.
enough. But I'm sitting up.
You're seeing everything.
And her head is here. Her head's like here. My head is here. And when the curtain comes down and I'm looking,
you're seeing
there's a hole in her abdominal area.
Yep.
And I can literally see like her skin.
Yep.
Like
forceps of it open.
It's like open. And I'm like, okay. And the next thing you know, a baby is coming. It's like, and the baby comes out, and the first thing I notice is how big his balls were. I'm like, oh fuck, his balls are huge, right? And Kayla,
look at the size of that dick. Oh joy!
And literally, I'm literally, yeah. Thank you, Dad, for this deed that you passed down to me. So I'm literally, I'm seeing his balls, right? His balls. And I'm like mesmerized about not about his balls per se, but I'm like, there's so much going on in my, like, it's hard to explain.
Overloaded.
I'm overloaded. You don't even know, like, you're witnessing so much at once, and it was like my mind was focused on a sack. And then he starts crying, and it like woke me up. I was like, it's some sort of, I was like hypnotized. He goes, and I go, oh, right, and then I start crying. Kayla's bawling. And then I finally look up at his face, and it looks like me. It's like a little me. And I'm like, oh my God. And there's an umbilical cord. And I'm going, what the fuck?
And then they cut
the shit. And I'm like, holy fuck. And there's blood everywhere.
Of course.
And Kayla looks at me, she goes, he's so dark. And I was like, I know. And he looks super dark. Apparently, and I didn't see this, but we thought he was super dark. He shit all on himself. He shit all inside Kayla. He shit everywhere. We called him the Green Goblin. He looked like it was just this dark green shit.
It happens.
All over the place.
It happens.
So they then take him over to the side. They wipe him down, get him all clean, and they're cleaning out Kayla. And they're like, Jeff, you want to come over and see him? I said, yeah. So I get up, I walk over, and he's completely like cleaned out now. I can see, okay, he's not as dark.
He's not that dark.
No. Like
as it turns out, when you're not covered in your own feces.
Yes, no. So, he's crying and going on. I didn't get to cut the umbilical cord. They basically cut it like right away.
Well, that's because you would have been standing over the openness of your wife's abdominals.
And I just did not want to do that.
No.
Where I made the decision, or the bad mistake. So everything was fine there. As I walked over, because I basically I had to go on the other side of the curtain to go and see the baby.
Yes, of course.
So I'm looking at the baby.
Not without the plastic.
So I'm looking at the baby, and I'm in awe. And then they go and take the baby and bring it over to Kayla for skin on skin. So they're walking back over, and I'm following. And as I get up and I follow, I did the dumbest thing ever. I looked. I went to the left and I looked.
It's like a dumpster fire you can't look away from.
And as soon as I did it, I froze. Like I'm crying, right? I'm crying, and I'm looking down at her body, and now the baby's on Kayla's chest, right? And I'm like frozen, and I can see the gap, and I see this big fucking placenta in a fucking metal container.
Yep.
And the thing looked like a brick. It looked like a fucking purpley, reddy, shitty. It almost looked like it was pulsating. It was like it was fucking alive. Almost. It was nasty, bro. And the doctor said you might not want to look over there. And there's chunks of blood and shit all over the table, on the floor. And the doctor was really short. It was this short doctor, so she had a stool that she was standing on to like get up over. And on the stool, it was just a mass of blood. You could see like her footprint in the stool. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, don't look over there. That's a bad life choice. And it's like forever ingrained in my...
You'll never get it out of your head.
I'll never get it out of my head. That thing it was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking nasty. It was bad. So then when we spent about 30 minutes, it took them I'd say it took them about 20 minutes to stitch her back up. They had to clean her because there was shit all in her, like literally inside her.
Of course.
So they had to make sure she was all clean. It doesn't, apparently the poop is sterile anyway.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really hurt her, but it's not good to be in there either. So they had to clean her out. But beyond that, it was good. And then Kayla was drugged to fuck. I mean, when we got out of the OR room, like basically, dude, women are, I don't know how they do it. I'm just gonna. My respect for women have gone.
Tends to happen when you witness that.
Oh, bro. I mean, women are fucking. Dudes are nowhere near as strong as women. I'm telling you right now. We might be physically strong.
Yeah.
We might be able to emotionally. We may not. We might not have to
handle the shit.
In a different way. I'm not saying all men are like emotionally fucking. Super strong.
Women are a different spot.
When those woman instincts come in and they gotta like give birth and shit, you see how fucking real they are, and it's like there's no.
It's a different animal,
dude. It's different. It's a fucking different animal, bro. Yeah. Just watching what she went through, not only for the 9 months leading up to it, because it just kind of all comes in perspective. And then you look at your kid and you're like, damn, that came out of her, and she's went through hell and back, and there's no complaints. There's no like. And we're in the recovery room for 3 hours, and she's drugged the fuck out of her mind. She's like, she got like a huge adrenaline dump, like beyond like.
Oh yeah,
it's like if you've been pumped up to do something for so long, you finally do it, and you just like fucking you die. It was like after my wedding, after the wedding,
the release.
Yeah, it's like most people don't even have sex.
Just sleep for 4 days.
They go upstairs and they pass out, or they have like the worst sex ever and pass out because they're just dead. It's just like it's all done. That's what that was like. It was just like holy shit. I had to like hold her titty up while fucking Kai was sucking on the titty because she was out. She couldn't do anything. It was just crazy. The whole experience was crazy. It was an amazing experience, but it's one that I don't want to do again anytime soon. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need to take a T out on that.
Time out. Drop the T.
It was stressful.
Oh, of course.
It was very, very stressful, but at the same time, it was pretty incredible. All in the same thing. And the nurses and doctors were amazing. Like, we had one snotty nurse at one point, but then she ended up kind of being cool towards the end. But beyond that, man, everybody, like, there was no stupid question. You ask a question, they'd sit there and they'd explain it to you. And it was just, it was cool. They were awesome down there. Their food was shit, but everything else was pretty good.
You can only do so much.
It was a good time.
The food, hospital food can only get so good.
So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with all that. Perhaps that was the happiness, or what were we talking about?
Something about that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What was the question?
Something.
Okay.
Neil asks, I had a dream that Jeff sold my house against my will. Why would you do that?
I don't know. That's mean. Why would I do that? Is that the black? I mean, I'm.
Why would you do that, Jeff?
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I didn't mean to. Like, why would you dream that? That's the most random fucking thing ever. You dreaming about me, bruh? That I sold your house without your consent?
Why are you going to do something like that?
It's like you come home and I'm there at the door. Hey, bruh, your house is sold.
Sold it.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're out.
It's gone. And it's gone.
24 hours. Pack your shit.
Get the fuck out. I'm renting it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Technical Elf Podcast. Patreon.com/LAGTV. Go and check it out. Join the community. Support us. Support Kai. And the inevitable huge amount of food that he is going to consume in the not-too-distant future.
The amount of diapers he's going to consume.
The amount of diapers that he's going to be going through.
Not consume, but...
well, you never know.
You never. He might try.
He might try. We will be back again next week. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube or on Twitch. And those of you listening at home on the RSS feeds later on. Have a good one. Peace.